Welcome friends to Powerplant Guru YouTube channel. Friends, I am a mechanical engineer with around 20 years of experience in the field of power plant, and I used to create small fundamental knowledge series videos for power plant engineers.
Hello friends, welcome to our new video on surface condenser. So this will be a video in the series where we are recording certain topics, basic topics on steam turbine, and this is related to that only. Now we are going to talk about surface condenser. There is another video which I have created in past, which is on basically air cooled condensers, fin fan type, which is you can find in the playlist as well as you can look at the description if you want to see that. So now we will talk the surface condenser where cooling water is utilized. So if you see this image, many of you might have seen this in your plant, right? This kind of condenser. If not, maybe the similar type of condenser you will find in any power plants of medium to large scale, right? And then, y- uh, so what we are going to cover here is, what is the surface condenser does, why it is utilized in power plant, how the basic functionality is, and what are the major component of equipment in this equipment. That is how we will structure this session. Okay. So as you might have seen, I know in the previous slide, this is the condenser physically. But okay, now let us see how it is, in a from internal side and how the function and reality works. So what here you see here, the inward arrow is talking about cooling water inlet, and the outward arrows are where the cooling water return goes. So we can call it as this. Let me use this. We can call it as cooling water inlet or cooling water supply. Many places it is called CWS, and this is called CWR, which is return, cooling water return. So here it will be, coming from a cooling tower, so it will be comparatively cold. And once it goes inside the condenser, exchange heat from steam which is coming, then it will be hot and again go back to cooling tower. Okay, so again I am taking the pointer. So how it will happen? Uh, this is something which is inlet of the condenser, or we can say which is the exhaust from steam turbine. Yeah, so we call it a steam chest. From here, the steam would come inside, right? So how it will happen? Cooling water will go here and it will go like this. In these tubes, these smaller tubes, the cooling water will flow. And here, this is called the water box. Okay, this will be, half parted. So cooling water will go like this inside this tubes. So inside the tubes means tubes are relatively colder, and then the steam which will pass on these tube outer surface, where inside there is a cooling water, so there will be heat exchange, and then steam will lose its heat and will try to convert into the water. So that is the basic, fundamental here. Cooling water is exchanging heat with these tubes. These tubes will exchange heat from the steam, and steam will change its phase from gas to liquid and discharge its latent heat of latent heat here in this case because the temperature is same and the phase is changing. And then this there will be half partition to it. Water will flow like this, and then it will come to the top half, and then water will flow like this, and then it will come out from this side. So this is how the overall thing will work. I have another image to show you, okay, how it is happening. But before that, we are utilizing this image to understand this equipment. And this is something, there are two other connection, okay. Two other connections are like this is one, maybe another is not mentioned. We can mention, we can put it, there will be another no, outlet, something of maybe just an exit I am creating. So this will be for ejector. So, and this may be for rupture disk. RUPTU rupture disk. Short form people in plant call as RD. So why RD is required? So we know that okay, the steam condenser is designed to operate on a low pressure or rather a negative pressure. So these all joints and everything are designed in such a way that there is no ingress of air. So that is how the equipment is designed for low pressure, not a high pressure. So is this rupture disk is given for a protection if let's say in any case the pressure inside this vessel goes high, then there will be a rupture disk. Maybe rupture disk is nothing but a kind of disk or a kind of plate which is designed to burst if you apply pressure from any one side, like it will be designed like this, okay, there will be certain marks or like that. So if you, let's say here 1.5 kg per centimeter square or 2 kg per centimeter square, the pressure setting would be. If you apply pressure more than that, that will, give away. Okay, and then it will be open to atmosphere. So beyond that, your pressure will not rise. So it is a protection because the equipment is designed to operate in a low way, a low pressure setting. And if it is some problem, maybe your cooling water supply is blocked, the pumps are tripped, you are not able to maintain, cooling water flow, then pressure will increase. There will be another chances like this water which is going to hot well and then from condensate extraction system is there through pumping. If the pump trip or something also else also happen, then also it may cause the high pressure. So for protection from that, RD is there. And then there is a ejector or a vacuum pump sort of setting which uh, is there to maintain the vacuum. Okay, once you have your ejector and hover system, which will create the initial vacuum, but as continuous steam come from this area, and steam will have lot of volume, and then you are converting all that steam into smaller water quantity. The volume is reducing, then what will happen? It will try to reduce the space which is occupied by steam, and then you will have something negative pressure also coming up. So that is how we maintain vacuum. Sorry, that is how the vacuum is established and continued in the condenser. But there are certain undissolved gases as well. So we need to remove those undissolved gases, and that is where you need a continuous ejection system through a steam ejector or through a vacuum pump. So for that, there is a opening which is connected to ejector or vacuum pump. So this is how the overall system is there. This is how it is working. And let us go to another image and try to understand how the cooling water flow is happening. Okay. Yes, so here is another image which will help you to understand how the cooling water flow and the steam condensation happens. So basically here if you see that is cooling water inlet, which is relatively colder water coming from cooling towers. And you in the middle of the condenser you have a baffle plate. You have partition, right? So that all the cooling water which is coming in can be hold up in this area. So whatever your cooling water pump discharge pressure is there, and the piping losses and all that, there will be certain pressure coming at the condenser inlet, and that pressure will be filled up here. And here you have your tube sheet where you have your tubes, pierced in the tube sheet. That is one part, and here is the another the other end. So now the cooling water goes, and there is a flow of cooling water in these tubes, which may be lakhs or tens of thousands of tube in different sizes of condensers. So bottom half you are having a flow which is from this direction to this direction, and as the cooling water travels, there will be steam which will come from the turbine exhaust, and that steam will exchange heat from this overall surface of this these tubes, and ultimately it will change into water, convert into water, and will be going for hot well. So once you have your half of the tubes flowing in this direction, then there will be water which will come from those tubes to this side, and this is called water box. There is no partition, but as you have half of the tube which are supplying this water, there will be this water which it has to exit, right? So there are half of the tubes where this water will go like this, and again it will travel to the other side of the condenser where you have outlet water, cooling water outlet section, and there it is connected to your cooling water return piping. So if you see whatever hot gases are coming, first it is interacting with the relatively hot water side, because here will be colder temperature of cooling water, and then once it has exchanged one set of heat, then you have your little comparatively warmer water, which will exchange heat with the incoming steam. Steam will get, little, I mean, not fully condensed, but some of the condensation will happen, some of the steam will be remaining in the steam form, and then slowly it will move down where the temperature is further down. So that is how, I mean, steam is transferred from that top to bottom, and then water is colder on the lower side and the little bit warmer on the upper side, and here it goes on the return side and then goes out. So this is normally construction for cooling water flow and the steam flow. There is a inlet water box, there is a outlet water box, and there is here on the other side, which is common, which is supplying, connecting between inlet and outlet. So that is how, basic flow happens. And then there will be, here it is not very much clear because it is a drawing, but in the plant, you will have something like a box type of construction, which will store the water which is coming from, the condenser, and that will be called as hot well, where you have that water stored. And there will be, one level transmitter also, level gauge also, maybe 50% level is maintained in that. And then you have certain pumps, right, which will be connected to this, and this is will be called condensate extraction pump. And outlet of this will go to deaerator. or maybe some storage tank also in some of the plant, but it will go to deaerator, and then again it will go to boiler feed pump, and then in the boiler. So that is how it is. The cooling water and steam flow situation functions in the condenser. So here in this image, we can see that okay, how a condenser is placed in the overall power plant functions. So here is the image where you can see the boiler, and then boiler is hot and there is combustion happening, steam is generated, then steam goes to turbine, then generator is there, and power generation is happening, and then steam turbine, from steam turbine there is a condenser which condense and converts steam from gaseous form to water or liquid form. Then it goes to boiler feed pump, and then from again it goes to boiler. And there is a cooling water also, which comes to cold water comes to condenser, and then hot water goes back to cooling tower, and then if it is a natural draft cooling tower, there will be a temperature drop, and then again it will circulate. So that is how it is. And now in the diagram, if you see boiler feed pump, which converts low pressure water to high pressure boiler, and then boiler you have heat addition at a constant pressure, which is um, pressure is high but temperature is low, enthalpy is low. So with the addition of fuel, heat, the steam is generated, then steam is pushed into turbine, gives the work done, and then there is a low quality, low enthalpy steam, which is again converted into the condenser, and then you can again send it back to the boiler feed pump. Similarly, it is on the TS cycle also. You can see here is the first two, here is the compression, sorry, it is the pumping process. It is from lower pressure to higher pressure. Then you have a heat steam process. There is a economizer will come in this place, which is liquid. Then there is a drum, which is liquid plus gaseous or vapor form. Then there is a superheated steam. This superheated steam will go and give the work done in turbine, and then you have your condenser, which will be this line. So here, bringing this diagram, why we brought it, just to explain, this is how your condenser is placed in the overall, power cycle, where you have only, phase changes, where you have steam which is entering into the turbine almost at constant temperature because it is a PS diagram. So here also, whatever T is there, here also it is the same T. So at the same temperature, there is a change in phase. There is a heat content is changing because you are exchanging heat from cooling water to steam. There is a lot of heat rejection which is happening. That is where the condenser is there, but the temperature is same. So sorry, temperature is the same. If the temperature is same, and then also you are having a heat transfer, so that is called latent heat transfer. So that is where the condenser rule come in. So that is what basically we wanted to cover in this video. Very basic one, maybe for the young engineers who are just joining the plant, or if you have been there in for some time but you have certain doubts because in plant you will not be able to see the equipments from inside. But you will see the outer side only, and that will, create some curiosity in your mind. But all those will be clear once you see it in the shutdown or you have hands-on experience while working it. So that's all we wanted to cover. If you have any question, please put that into comment section. We will try to respond. whenever we find time. Thank you very much for watching us. Have a good day. Thank you.